Alright, we're gonna get you guys to go ahead and start up the game. Treat it like a solo queue game. So you can discuss roles, you can debate who gets what roles, but at the end of the day, it is pick order. Please, no trolling, as mentioned before. If anyone is verbally abusing, raging, trolling, anything like that, send screenshots to either me or Brian. They will be permanently banned from these workshops. This is a way to improve for everyone involved. So treat it as such. I've been bad about bumping the thread. I'm so ineffective. As far as discussing picks and bans, I usually wait till it's almost done, because then we have to wait 3 minutes. Because we have to wait for the delay.
We actually have to wait for
we have to wait 3 minutes, yeah. Like, after selection finishes, there's a countdown timer until we load in.
I actually have... I'm spectating the bans live, I believe, right now.
Yeah, the number of followers won't update until you refresh the stream. Keep in mind that we are giving away an RP card at 1,000 followers, and if we have 900 tonight, I may as well do some like Steam game giveaways. I try and do those pretty much every day I stream. Always the Amumu ban, yep.
He is a very strong character in solo queue, though.
He's a strong character in solo queue, but I've had to go over this every single workshop. Amumu is not worth a ban, even though he's strong, because if someone wants that style of character, that magic damage AoE CC jungler, so many options. If you ban Amumu, they take Sejuani. If they don't want Sejuani, they pick Malphite, Zac, even Fiddlesticks to a little lesser extent. There's just so many characters that fit a similar role. Yes, Amumu is currently the best of those characters in solo queue, but if you ban him, they'll just pick someone else. I personally prefer to ban things that are blatantly overpowered in solo queue, or that snowball incredibly heavily.
Currently, after post-patch, what do you think is blatantly overpowered, actually? I have yet to hear your opinion on that.
Kassadin's still stupidly strong. I always ban him. I've started to ban Riven, not because I feel that she's completely overpowered, but because she requires... I consider it burden of knowledge. You need to know exactly how she plays. You need to know the exact amount of damage she deals. You need to know her exact power spikes. You need to counterpick her. You need to know that you have to gank her right at level 2 as she all-ins. If you fail any of those things, she will snowball.
Fair enough. So not exactly an overpowered character, just a very, very good pick.
I would consider her slightly overpowered, but she has a lot of counterplay, but it's so much burden on your allies to know exactly how to counterplay her that it's just not worth it. It's like banning Blitzcrank was a couple months ago when he was still strong. Whereas like I don't feel that he's worth a ban, but my team won't know how to play against him, so I'll ban him. Or banning Shaco back in Season 2.
Blitzcrank is such a strange debate in my own mind as to whether or not I should ban him a lot of the time, because I absolutely loathe, there's nothing I loathe more than playing against a very competent Blitzcrank. However, I understand that there's that sort of double sword thing happening with him, that if he pulls in the enemy tank, he just screwed his own team over completely.
His nerfs have also hurt him very, very heavily.
I think you're more privy to that information since you sort of mained Blitzcrank for a while there.
I did for a little bit. Right now, a level 1 hook takes half your mana.
Oh yeah, no, his mana costs are through the roof right now.
His mana costs are insane, and they reduced his early game tankiness, and nerfed his passive, and nerfed, there's just so many nerfs to him over and over and over again, that Thresh is a more reliable, better version of Blitzcrank, and even then, there are better supports than Thresh right now.
Ooh, I'm not sure if I agree with that.
Annie is considered the #1 support right now, closely followed by Nami, Leona, and Janna.
Janna is fantastic. I actually think that Thresh's tools are just so versatile.
He is a very, very strong pick, but generally if you're banning something, you're saying they will always pick this, and it's an overpowered champion. I consider my bans something to actually significantly impact the enemy team, so a very common pick that's very, very strong, or by banning it, I completely remove a class of champion from the game. It's like trying to ban assassins. You can't ban all the assassins, so just ban the most powerful one. Like, I personally don't really ban Fizz anymore. Because, yeah, he's still very, very strong. But Kassadin is still sort of top of that class of champion, so it's not worth banning 5 assassins.
Oh, absolutely. I completely agree with that. What are your thoughts on Zed after his gameplay changes?
He's still strong, but is a lot easier to counterplay now and is significantly weaker. I consider him balanced with the possibility of being a little bit strong if you play him perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Arctic went for Katarina. Arctic Freeze actually mains Katarina, from what I remember. And I could be wrong, but I believe he also likes Diana, and he was making a comment earlier about how much Diana shits on Katarina, so he banned Diana and picked Katarina.
I'm not sure how I feel about a first pick Katarina, though, because it's so dangerous, because, I mean, as soon as you see Katarina, what do? You just pick as much CC as you possibly can, and what is the blue team doing right now? They got Vi, they got Lee Sin, Annie, Jax, and Vayne. Every single one of those characters can bully her out of her own ultimate, essentially.
I agree with that, but my comment is, they first pick Katarina, you pick whatever you're going to play anyways, because you've already countered her. Because Katarina is such a weak pick right now.
I wouldn't say she's such a weak pick. However,
her laning phase is abysmal.
The problem with Katarina currently is that there are just too many characters, far too many characters who have the tools to make her life a living hell in a team fight, basically.
Agreed, but I think it's a similar idea to what I was mentioning earlier with Karthus. You're picking a champion that already loses lane.
Mm-hmm.
Because quite literally any mid champion you play, if you play them at an equal level to the Katarina in terms of skill, you will win that lane. Like, outside of ganks, and given similar skill level, quite literally every mid laner counters Katarina. That is a common pick currently.
I like that teleport, though. I mean,
teleport is a good choice, yes. He's actually run that in a workshop before, and I believe the workshop he ran it, he went like 20 kills.
Yeah, no, the thing is that Katarina, a lot like Karthus, is not a character that you pick to essentially win your lane. You really pick it for the sheer team fight advantage that you get from taking those characters. So, agreed. I mean, I understand that there is a good likelihood that you'll fall behind with those characters. However, if you are adept enough with either of them, that you can absolutely just get yourself far, far farther ahead than your lane opponent if you capitalize on those easy kills.
That's why so many elo boosters play Katarina. Because if you outplay them remotely well, you just snowball and they don't know how to deal with you.
I just adore her on Aren because it is such a murder fest.
It is kind of broken. So as far as overall team comps, it looks like Blue Team has sorted out their picks. It's going to be a Lee Sin mid, support Annie, which is a very, very strong pick right now. Top lane Jax, AD carry Vayne, and obviously a jungle Vi. Jungle Vi is actually really good right now, although the changes to the uninterruptible ult have hurt her slightly. Not to the point where it's not worth picking her, but it does make her weaker than she was. She's not as completely immune as she was.
I'm not sure what you exactly mean by that. I mean, I understand that she is susceptible to CC after the duration of her ultimate.
No, now if you CC her in her ult, she CC'd at the end of it.
Yes, that's what I meant to say. But that's the thing. Like, I mean, her ult is already uninterruptible as it is. So I mean, the effect that you want to have is going to happen regardless of what happens. And I mean, if they try to CC you as you are charging up against someone, that's just wasted CC for the enemy team. You're already going to have done exactly what you meant to do, and pummel that person to the ground. So
my disagreement there is because you are still peeling. It used to be you had to wait until the ult was completely finished before you used any of your CC. Now, yes, you might waste part of the duration of the CC, but you're going to be able to peel that significantly easier now. Also, it's introduced some bugs where knockbacks affect her when she's in her ult.
I have noticed that, and that actually bothers me quite a bit, because I was playing versus an Alistar, and as my ult wasn't even finished animating, I was just knocked out of the team fight completely.
Yeah. So again, as I said, it's not that it makes Vi unviable. Haha, puns. She's still a very, very strong pick, but at least there's slightly easier counterplay to her now. That's all I was saying with that.
I'm not sure that was. I mean, it was necessary because she was such an unstoppable force.
No, that's Malphite.
I. You're such a dick. No, but I mean, you know how as soon as she locked in that ultimate, it was completely impossible to deal with her. Whereas now, there's at least some capacity for counterplay to happen.
Mm-hmm. And I really like having the option for counterplay. I don't feel as useless. Because again, I main mid and support, and what's my job? Peel the Vi. Well, fuck you, I can't.
Exactly.
So I love those changes. I feel they're really good.
Mm-hmm. No, but I love Vi as a character, and I still play her fairly regularly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to see how Corregidor is going to play her.
Yes. Overall team comps, I feel that blue team has a very strong potential to just run away with this game if they get an early advantage. Because they have the CC, they have the AoE alts, they have the peel for Vayne, they have everything they need to make that team comp work very, very effectively.
Such scary scaling as well.
Oh, totally, yes.
No, if they get the least bit ahead, I think that it's gonna be a game in the bag for them. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to
I'll
see
wait till
how
this is in loading so I can see the other team comp again.
Yeah, there was a Katarina, and the Katarina, I'm looking forward to see how that's gonna end up for them, because I'd love to see good Katarinas. I feel that she is such an underestimated champion.
I do have a YouTube channel, you realize, Guy.
Sorry, what?
You said you wanted to see Katarina played well. I do have a YouTube channel, you realize.
I did not know you played Katarina.
I don't. I smurf with her. As I mentioned, Elo boosters love her.
You are such an evil person. That is not nice, but I absolutely want to see that after. Maybe I should make a smurf and just join you on those endeavors.
You should. Well, I always just steal viewers' accounts.
Oh my gosh. Personally, my favorite person to play against Lorena players was LeBlanc, because it's just such mean bullying.
I love playing support LeBlanc, and then my AD carry raging at me as I win him the lane. Fucking noob, LeBlanc stealing kills, your shit uninstall, on and on, and I was like, dude, I'm 11, 0, and 7, and won you the lane at level 1. What do you want from me?
Some people just get the rocks off of raging, you know?
It's true. Unfortunately, as much as a horse supports R in Season 3, I'm not that easy.
Are you looking forward to the Season 4 changes?
I am. I'm very concerned about it, though.
Concerned in what sense?
My reason being is supports are so weak early game now.
Because of the ratio nerfs?
The ratio nerfs a little bit, but no, it's mostly can't do full consumable starts, and that was what was allowing supports to absolutely dominate early game bot lane. Supports are what won early game bot lane, and now it's like, oh, I have 1 ward and 2 potions for the entire laning phase. Because you're kind of pigeonholed into buying a gold per 10 item at level 1, and if you do that, you don't have the potions to trade. That's why supports were so strong, is you could trade every single cooldown you had, and you would come out ahead because you had potions their AD carry did not. And you could turn that into effective zoning and effective kill potential.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, the sheer advantage you're going to get from supporting now is just going to make the overall game much more active for them, and, able to carry even in some cases. I mean, personally, I'm really looking forward to play some Karma support next season, because her base damages are out of this world.
They are, and I am looking forward to it. I'm just worried, because it's a completely different style of support play, and my entire philosophy with support was early game dominance, mid and late game map control, and shot calling. And that's where I excel as a support, and why I've essentially mained support throughout the season. And having them change it so drastically in a way that completely counteracts my style of play is worrying. I do like that they're going to be more effective mid and late game as far as a raw numbers standpoint, but it still worries me.
I feel like the changes are just going to promote good team play, like better team play, if anything. Then there's going to be a more of an emphasis on players who really go out of their way and play for their teams, rather than the support being like like you so eloquently pointed out, being the ward whore for the team, basically.
I put out about 7 words at a time.
I love it when you just speak dirty to me. Okay, so we got this game started now on our end. And
That's interesting. Annie went deep enough into utility to get Biscuit, but didn't get Explorer Ward.
that is interesting.
I would want to look at her logging to figure out exactly what point she put in there, but I'm assuming she gave up that point and instead went into... Maybe...
Ooh, really strange item choice for Leona right there with the,
Cloth armor.
Yeah. Oh, I've never seen that on the support before.
I don't like it. I've seen Leonas do that before, and I don't like it. My main concern here, look at Leona's build. She has 0 potions. Look at her opponent. You are going to be bullied out by that Annie so quickly.
Exactly, especially with Leona, you have to dive into that 80 carry.
And that's why 4 or even 5 health potions on Leona as a start is pretty much mandatory.
Well, also, the Annie already has the Vision Ward, so she's going to be winning that Vision game, like, pretty early on. And once you're ahead in the Vision game, it's really hard to fall back.
It's true. Interesting start from Jack. He actually went Longsword.
Versus the Garen, I can understand it, because Garen just has that sheer regeneration going on. I mean, he even started Cloth and 5. So, I mean, unfortunately, Jack wanted to play it safely, but I think that's not going to pay off for him.
That's not a safe build, that's an aggressive build. Longsword means that I want an early first blood.
Against a Garen, I'm not sure how that's going to work out.
It's not going to work at all. And that's why I'm debating why he would do that. If he wants to be able to stay in lane, he needed to start Cloth 5 or a Doran's Shield. That Longsword is not going to give him kill potential in that lane. He's just going to get bullied out. And yeah, he wastes his Counter-Strike too.
Now he's going to push too, so he's going to be sieging a Garen by his tower. And as Jax, the tower is the last place you want to be against a Garen, especially.
And he's also versus an Udyr who... Okay, Udyr has decided to go Wolves for some reason. If I were him, I would be doing blue-red gank top. It's versus a Jax who's pushed into tower. That is a free kill for you.
I think he's going to be just farming red now and go directly top, because he's seeing that Jax is already pushed.
Agreed, but he didn't need to stop and take Wraiths. Or not Wraiths, Wolves.
She did not need to, but at the same time, I don't necessarily disagree with it, because, sometimes you just have to evaluate the map as a jungler, and as you're doing that and, just thinking up on your decision, it's good for you to, keep up the farming. So there's
Here comes the gank.
Going top, exactly.
Garen's just trading damage, baiting him back in. I dislike that gank route.
Yeah, me too. Use the flash.
And nice leap strike to get out. But no, as Udyr, go through a river. You need to come in behind them.
Yeah.
And now Vi's counter-ganking. Good awareness on her part to see that coming. Combining that with Counter-Strike, they should be able to get this kill. First blood over to Jax. That is amazing for him. Failed flash. They should be able to get this second kill as well.
Here comes the second jump too. Or the flash.
So,
double hit for Jax. Jax just won this lane, essentially.
Exactly. And as much as I had concerns with the Jax's starting build, they baited that in. They baited that in really well. That was unfortunately though, that was Purple Team's fault.
That was absolutely Udyr's fault, I guess I have to say, I'm sorry. But ganking through the tri-bush was unnecessary.
He also then wasted his flash rather than ensuring that he had vision.
Exactly.
Flash is okay on Udyr, but if you're in a matchup like this where you have enough CC, you have the engage from Leona, you have Garen to walk in, I might suggest Ghost. I'm going to rewind and watch that kill bot lane.
Yeah, no, Ezreal just focused down Annie pretty well, even though
Annie used the stun. They then focused all of their CC and damage onto Leona, who obviously has cloth armor and she's incredibly tanky to begin with. So that was a little bit of a misplay. Annie needed to land that burst and then back out before Leona could re-engage onto her. Vi's coming bot lane for a quick gank. I'm just going to fast forward here so we're caught up.
There was a ward there though.
Yeah,
so
she got caught out in the ward. Nothing happened. I'm also very, very surprised. Katarina is ahead in experience and a little bit in CS in this mid lane. Lee Sin should be dominating this lane. Lee Sin has the early damage. He's just taking free damage for no reason.
It's because he's using his skills against minions to try and you know, get into that farm advantage instead of bullying Katarina out of it.
Exactly. He also, like, he just used his shield. Why use the shield when you could be engaging onto her?
Oh.
Every time she goes for a minion, you need to shield to the minion, E to get the AoE magic damage onto her, and then follow up with auto attack Q, auto attack, and then follow up Q to assassinate.
Jax is gonna kill that Garen again. Yep.
Yeah, and that's going to be the par for the course here top lane. Every time he shows up, Jax is going to get a kill.
Exactly. So now, what Garen needs to do is just bide his time and farm with his spin.
Yeah, Katarina's just going to build up such a huge advantage here.
Oh, Jax is so far ahead that he's even gonna kill them. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
That's another misplay from Udyr then, because if you see a Jax is that far ahead, you don't fight them. Oh, and Katarina just went in for the quick kill. I'm going to rewind it, but I know exactly what happened. She wore him down. Lee Sin is staying in lane and wasting skills against minion. Completely free kill here. She's staying in melee range, and she's level 6. Like, that's just poor decision making on Lee Sin's part. I believe he did the exact same thing earlier where he played Lee Sin mid, and very similar mistakes.
I like that the game is a little more even this time around, and it's not a complete curb stomp for the blue team. Because we've got Katarina who's dominating mid, and we've got Ezreal who's also a little bit ahead bot lane. So I think we might be... I mean, I understand that a fed Jax is a very scary force to be reckoned with. But there's going to be some leeway here for the purple team to make plays, for sure.
I completely agree. Interesting note here. Ezreal opted to go Sheen first item. That's fine. I would have suggested that he either go... If he wants Trinity Force first, I personally would build Phage because it's going to give him the tankiness to survive the Annie engage. And it's going to give him the chasing power to follow up ganks and Leona stuns.
I think the idea here is that against an opponent like Vayne, who's relatively short range, that he just wants this immediate poking power to bully her out.
He does want the immediate poking power, but I don't agree with it. You have an all-in from Leona, and you have an all-in from Udyr. I would either go Bloodthirster first item. Personally, I prefer Bloodthirster first on Ezreal over Trinity Force. I do Trinity Force as second item, but if he wants to do it, that's fine. Great tumble dodge by Vayne. Just seeing exactly where Leona was aiming and tumbling out before it could hit.
And Garen is not even level 6 yet versus a level 7 Jax being completely bullied out of lane. Now I think Vi's coming in for the gank versus Katarina, and is she going to alter? No, she is not.
And again, that's communication issue. You need to be informing, and your mid needs to be responding.
Yeah, I barely see any pings from the jump from either jump, really.
Ezreal landed a great ult across both players. Leona staying in range to continue that harass, and went in for the quick kill. Vi jumping in here and might actually get this.
Oh, Leona could maybe peel it, and she did.
She did, yes. Great job on Leona's part. I was very good map awareness though by Vi, getting in there and getting that damage down.
Ooh, Katarina almost got a kill on Lee Sin once again. There's so much action going on with this map again. And I think we missed that Jax actually got another kill on Garen earlier before the team fight bot lane.
I'll have you pay attention to that just so that we can try and see mistakes that Garen is making that he could be doing better. But as far as that top lane, it's for all intents and purposes over.
Yes, I mean, Garen could have played this a lot safer and a lot better early on. At this point, it's not even that whether or not he's engaging on Jax. Jax can freely engage on Garen as he pleases and completely push out his lane.
Agreed.
I mean, at this point, it's outside of Garen's hands. And if I was Udyr, I wouldn't pay as much attention to top lane as I think he is now. I'd really try to give bot lane or mid lane more an advantage that they already have, because Jax is already fed. He's already going to scale, so it's not worth the effort and risk involved in trying to gank Jax. Now, team
double ult bot lane.
Yeah.
And he lands some good damage onto Ezreal, and they're actually going to pull that through. And lands a second stun over onto Leona. That's going to be a double kill for Vayne. Oh, attacks a minion by mistake. Still able to pull it through, though. At this point, I want Katarina to start roaming. Katarina has that teleport, she has the early kill, and it looks like she's going to get her...
No.
Oh.
That
Very
was
nice.
way too risky. I was not a fan of that. Ethan has such high ratios. Why would you do this?
I completely agree. That doesn't make sense for her to come back in, but still a great job for him to pick that up. That's going to get him back into this lane. Yeah, top lane needs to be pretty much ignored right now. Garen needs to hold this turret as best he can, farm up as best he can, and build full tank and try and offer some utility for his team late game.
Yeah,
Katarina now needs to be roaming and trying to get bot as fed as possible. Unfortunately, Vayne now has that double kill, so you need to shut that down.
There is a blue ward where Udyr is walking right now, so I think Vayne's going to try to escape, and she is going to come out unscathed. And Udyr is just sitting on top of that ward right now.
A lot of it boils down to the blue team's warding, but Udyr has been wasting a lot of time this game with his ganks.
I agree completely.
I would suggest, if you're not able to land ganks, whether that's your teammates being too far behind, them not responding to your ganks, or just too many wards on the map that you can't clear yet, stop trying to gank. Farm your way
Just
back
farm.
into the game.
Exactly.
Vi coming back mid yet again. She's paying a lot of attention to this mid lane. And I don't think it's going to do that much good for her.
I think our commentaries might have brought that into Katarina as well, because I mean, we've said that Arctic Freeze is a really good Katarina player. So maybe she's just trying to prevent that snowball from happening. Now she's coming bot lane, and she's probably gonna feed Vayne a little more.
Awesome.
Which is perfect. And
Yeah,
now she's
getting Vayne these kills is what's going to win them the game. Obviously, yeah, Jax is already a beast. At this point, though, you need 2 threats. If you only have one, it's relatively easy to shut down that threat if you work well as a team. If they
no,
have
they're
2
all-
threats, though, the game is pretty much over.
all 3 of these people are low, and Udyr is coming from the side to try and get. Oh, I'm not sure if he's able to get someone.
I'm
No,
so not a
Vayne
fan of
is
these
low.
flashes. Ezreal has no mana, so there's no way for him to follow this up. Looks like... Yeah, we have a Phoenix Udyr rather than Tiger. Teleport used by Katarina. She can jump in here and pick this up.
I agree with the Phoenix stance Udyr for this game specifically, because I mean, their only source of magic damage in this game is with Katarina.
No, I do agree with it, but if you're going to run Phoenix, you need to be maintaining that position, so I would say Ghost. Tiger is a burst, Phoenix is sustained AoE damage.
Yes.
As I said, it's not mandatory to run Ghost on him, but if you're going to run Flash, I would probably suggest running Tiger stance.
I feel that for Captain Jack, that Ghost might have been a better choice, because seeing how he's using those flashes very aggressively, I feel like Ghost would have actually helped him a lot more to complement his play style.
Agreed.
Now, Garen trying to get rid of that Jax, but he's
That
just gonna
tower's
take down the
down.
tower. Oh yeah.
And he's
now
going to be able to turn that around for a free kill. Looks like
Exactly.
Udyr is coming up here. May be able to turn this around. Excuse me, may be able to turn this around.
Oh, and
Awesome job.
Oh
No
my
assist for Udyr.
yes.
Nice roam coming in from Leona, actually.
Yeah, no, Leona's been very good at keeping on top of her adversaries right now. I actually really like her, because I find that good Leona players are somewhat of a rarity.
I have a
Even-
YouTube channel.
I love Leona personally myself.
I've hated Leona all season, and then I came around and started liking her because of the stream.
There is a reason why the parrot loves her.
Yes.
All I'm saying.
Oh, I want to play more
I-
games with him now.
Being very
Aaron
good-
Stylus is a really cool guy.
I like how Leona's accurately able to point out the threat level of the enemy team around her. And she's paying a lot of attention to the map, and it shows.
Totally agreed. Yeah, right now Vayne is such a
No.
big threat, and you don't have a lot of potential to turn in and fight
Katarina
that.
is absolutely going to die here.
Oh yeah.
Nothing she can do.
3v1 cutout. I would suggest she start turning her advantage into some wards.
She did ward at the top bush here, but because Jax came from the bottom bush, she just could not see that threat coming.
Honestly, for her, I'd be buying a stack of 3 to 4 wards. Because you can use them for all of your ward jumps, and you know that you're going to be focused. Their entire team comp is essentially designed to deal with you. Alright, and another kill onto Jax, it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. I'm actually so surprised at how Vayne's been able to keep herself alive with that engage from Leona and Ezreal.
That was a nice barrier by Ezreal, but great job pulling. Oh.
Vayne is gonna be a problem.
The Vayne mechanics this game have been right on point. She's been dodging pretty much everything with her tumbles. She knows exactly her limits, and that's a very, very scary thing as a Vayne player. A Vayne who knows her limits is going to be a huge, huge threat.
Yeah, now Jax is just roaming this map and being an absolute terror for the purple team. And giving the advantage she was boosted, yeah. No, that top advantage is just way too strong right now.
I have a concern that Katarina is playing way too cocky. She has slash had an advantage, but not that much of an advantage. Where it's like, oh, their Jax has 7 kills. I'm gonna go in right as soon as the stun ends.
The thing here is that while Katarina had an advantage in lane, she is not able to translate that into a team fight advantage just because of how strong Jax is currently.
Agreed, and of course the CC team comp that they have going on.
Exactly.
Udyr, he's fighting this in an unwarded jungle. I don't know what he thinks is gonna happen here.
No.
If someone is dueling you and not running away in your own jungle, you know they're coming to kill you. That just boils down to a map awareness issue and saying, can I instantly kill this person? No? Okay, well what's the likely outcome of this fight? Well, they're gonna collapse on you and you're gonna die. So I just think he needs to work on his map awareness a little bit as well. And yeah, just translate that a little bit better into Udyr play.
Ooh, here comes the Vi. Wasted ultimate by Vayne. However, considering how short the cooldown is on it, not too dramatic of a waste.
And he has flash stun. I would expect, Ezreal being half health, I would expect them to be able to turn this into something. Especially if Ezreal ever goes near bushes. I would expect Annie to land a quick stun, whether it's a flash stun or a normal stun, that's up to her. And then I want Vayne to tumble condemn her into him into a wall. That would be a very good combination of CC and should translate into a free kill.
Once again, I think it boils down to the fact that Vayne is much farther ahead than Ezreal is currently. Also, in combination with the Jax top, who's absolutely wrecking the purple team. I just think that they don't need to be aggressive at this point anymore. They don't need to make plays. They just need to bide their time and
they need to focus globals.
Exactly.
They decided to dive. They didn't need to dive. The dragon's up right then, or they could have taken the tower for free. Katarina was able to shut down the Jax, but that's not really going to make a difference here.
Vayne gonna try to attempt a dragon, and I'm not sure if that's gonna turn out well for her.
Oh. Game paused.
Are you able to see anything right now?
It's just paused.
Okay, because I can hear the chat.
You can turn on chat by clicking the little eyeball in the bottom left-hand corner and then selecting chat. P-break by Vi.
Oh.
Apparently.
Okay. See, I have not used the spectating tool a lot.
I know, me neither, and I have a really large issue adjusting to it, where I'm just like, oh my god, what do I do?
Well, I like the fact that they've implemented it finally after a couple years waiting. Okay.
I love how French you are.
Well, I am actually French, so I mean at the same time. I am guilty of charge.
Chat's so obtrusive in spectate mode. So Vayne gets the dragon. It's so risky, and she's gonna die here.
Yes.
Not worth it.
Completely brutalized by Katarina.
No, that would be Vi who has the brutalizer. I'm just gonna keep making horrible puns until you hate me forever.
Have mercy on me, Chris, please. I'm sorry,
you know better
bro.
than that. This is to punish Steven through you for playing in tournaments instead of helping me. Hey, free kill onto Lee Sin. Good collapse on their team, just organization of cutting off all of his escapes. That still is a lot of people for one kill, though. Also worth noting that Vayne did that very risky solo dragon without having it pinked. So obviously that just enabled Katarina to come in there and clean up. Stop talking about poutine, now I'm fucking hungry.
Wait, what?
I called you French, now people are talking about poutine in chat. And seriously, they said that, now my stomach is rumbling.
Oh, poutine is so good. I actually just had myself a bit of lasagna.
Oh, Vi's coming in bot lane here. Misses it. Should be able to land a double stun. That is some missed focus.
Ezreal destroying Vayne bot lane with the help of Fiona, and then picked up by the Annie.
Yeah. I think this again boils down to what we were saying earlier. You're taking so many aggressive plays when you don't need to. You have the advantage, you need to drive that advantage home. Kills are not important in League of Legends, other than to build yourself an advantage. You already have that advantage, so take objectives.
Exactly, just rush the towers, get the dragon.
The tower right now has 700 health. If they had just focused that down instead of wasting 2 to 3 ults on trying to fight them there, they would have had the tower and then they could have taken the kills after, if they had stayed.
With the zoning potential that they have, it's not like they can't siege any of these people either. Now, Garen's gonna come in.
Ooh.
He might clean house right there with Annie.
Yep.
And Katarina not following him anymore. I'm not sure. She's trying to cut.
She's trying to cut him off. It's not going to work out for her though, because she's just going to walk through minions, so they're going to know exactly where she is. Lee Sin here. Good job by Katarina to walk around, just in case Lee Sin tried to jump over the wall.
Oh, why did he try to go after that Fiona for the kill?
Vayne able to flash to safety. Jax is coming in now. Oh, this is dangerous.
Yeah, no, he's definitely killing everyone there. Oh,
many
good flash
kills.
by
So
Garen.
wow. Oh, and now the rest of the team's here, so they can fight again. I want Katarina to clean this up.
Ooh, Katarina's gonna go.
Problem is they still have to worry about the CC. They need to be able to get in range to engage a fight, and stay in range long enough for the CC to be used for Katarina to land a proper engage. And I just don't see that happening with how far behind they are at the moment.
No, but in a 2v4 at the same time, I feel like she could have rested.
Mm-hmm.
Now
She definitely could have.
Died Ezreal. And I'm not sure.
Ezreal mechanics! And Vayne.
Oh, the Vayne just pops out in the last second of that last hit.
Thank you very much.
I always have a hard time debating whether or not Jax or Vayne is the scariest dead carry in the game.
It depends on their mechanics. If Vayne has proper mechanics, she's scarier, I say. Jax is a little more, I mash buttons and you die.
Ooh, Jax.
They should be able to clean that up.
The Jax mechanics, so very good. Oh, but the Ignite is going to finish him off.
I think they're going to land a lot of CC onto this Katarina, making sure she doesn't go in.
Now,
She should now be able to turn around, though. She should turn around and fight this. She has her ult. Even if she dies, she has Hourglass. Jump in there. Ult. Hourglass right now. There you go.
Vayne, a little
Good escape.
That fight, but not bad.
Very, very good management of Katarina there. I felt she should have gone in slightly earlier, but great job hourglassing and then jumping to safety right in time. If they turn around here, they... No.
I don't know why Vi would do this right now.
Mm-hmm.
Katarina just nearly
I expected
escaped
Garen
death.
to return in and try and fight Vi, only because he has double buffs, Ezreal is on his way, and Katarina's already there. Obviously, Katarina does not want to jump in with that low health, but if he gets in kill range, yeah, for sure you're going to jump in.
Now, Purple Team was quite behind, but they seem to be catching up on their gold deficit right now. They were, I think, well over 7,000 gold behind, and now the gap is closed to only 5,000. So, I mean, if they keep up at it...
If they keep this up, they'll be in a very good position. I also want to comment on Garen. He has built perfectly for how far behind he is.
Yes.
If you're that far behind, you need to find a way to be useful. So what has he built? He's built full tank with a focus on keeping his team alive. So it looks like he's built Randuin's, and I wouldn't be surprised if he builds Locket next.
Well, I mean, look at the blue team. Every single one of those characters are heavy auto attackers. So Randuin's Omen is actually the perfect item, like the best item he could have possibly built in this game.
Exactly. I wouldn't be surprised also if after Locket he aims towards something like Frozen Car. Katarina getting a nice clean up there. Yeah, no real risk to her. Good tower for purple team. I would suggest they push this second tower and then cycle right over to Dragon.
Yeah, but while they're pushing that mid tower, look at what's happening top lane. Jax just doing his split pushing thing.
Obviously, yes, Jax is split pushing, but at that point you have to make a decision. Do we keep pushing, or do we go and split off and try and stop him?
Seeing how neither Jax nor Vayne are returning to base right now, I feel like they could get a free inhibitor out of this.
They should get the inhibitor. That being said, I would be sending one duelist back to base to try and hold the turret.
Oh, they can actually just get this recall in time to save their inhibitors, however.
But they didn't need 5 people to kill the inhibitor, is what I'm saying. One person should have started their recall earlier. Probably Udyr. Udyr and maybe Garen, because they're not that strong at pushing in towers.
Now they're going to be unable to recall.
Yeah, and because they didn't recall, Jax is getting an inhibitor. And they waited so long that now they're not able to recall.
But that might translate into...
It's going to turn into possibly 2 inhibitors, but I think they can pick up this kill on Annie, and I'm confident they'll get this kill on Lee Sin as well. Unless he... Oh, good ward jump.
Oh, if they push out this lane, they could put a lot of pressure on the Nexus right now. But I think they might just head for the Dragon instead. Or
Great escape by Lee Sin.
Yeah. Oh, Jax is gonna come in.
Yeah, she needs to get the hell out. That is overstaying to the extreme.
Oh, yes. Now,
he flash ignited to try and stop Leona's back. Didn't quite do it in time, but he should be able to still pick up this Garen.
Ooh, that's a bad position for purple team right now, because blue team could really focus for the Baron right now.
They could, that's what they should be focusing, yes. Shove out one wave mid and go straight to Baron. Lee Sin is doing a solo dragon right now. Sure, fine, whatever. Do not use your smite on that, but go straight to Baron and try and end it. 25 seconds on Garen, 15 seconds on Katarina. I don't think they're going to have time now that he's just focusing on Dragon instead.
No, they're just going to try to push out that wave. I mean, they've got the inhibitor top at the same time, so it's not, like, it's fairly even right now.
It's a pretty even trade. That being said, though, they could have turned that into so much more as blue team.
Oh, I completely
Vayne
agree.
and Jax could have 2-man Baroned. That's not an exaggeration.
Oh, I know. And that's what I said. I pointed it out immediately after Katarina got killed, is that they could translate that kill into a Baron for them.
Oh, yes. But I was saying that even if they wanted to do Dragon, or they wanted to split push or hold waves, whatever, sure, that's fine. But just send it 2 for free.
There you go.
Now purple team's in pretty much the same position where they need to get some map control on Baron. Maybe not do it at the moment, but they need to get vision in there, clear it out, and try and force something with this numbers advantage.
I know there's definitely a big tug of war happening in this game right now, where there's, you know, that one crucial kill that's happening and offering the team map control essentially for the remainder of like the next minute. However, I think Garen and Udyr are just going in too deep right now, and they might get a chance to engage in everyone.
That Vi jumped in. She could have actually engaged. Because you have the Annie stun still up.
No,
Jax has Guardian Angel.
But just missing from that fight, I think that's a bad idea. However, Jax is going straight into Katarina. I mean, there's a case and there's the reset.
Oh, great job on Katarina.
Very good Sonya's by Katarina.
That was a good job, but purple team delayed their engage, and blue team delayed their engage. They could have pulled that fight through.
I don't think so, because Lee Sin was absent from that team fight. He was still regenerating from his death.
To be perfectly honest, they don't need him. What they could have done there is Vi was in range to ult the AD carry, or to ult the Katarina. As soon as they did that, Jax needed to jump in and land a 3 to 5 person stun, and Annie needed to do the exact same thing. Overlapping those 2 forms of burst and full CC would have allowed Vayne so much time to clean them up, and it would have completely disabled both of the enemy carries.
I'd like to point out that I really like the Lee Sin mechanics right there for his escape. Some very good ward jumps.
This is why we target bans Arctic Freeze's Katarina. Yes, that is why you ban Katarina versus him. I haven't actually seen him pull off too many plays with his teleport.
I don't think he's teleported a single time this entire game.
He did teleport bot lane, I believe, once.
Okay.
I don't remember if it turned into a kill or not, but regardless, I'm fine with you running teleport. I think it opens up a lot of possibilities. My reason being, you already know that you're likely to lose lane, or at least you have a strong possibility to be outplayed in that lane. So you're trying to focus on global pressure instead.
I'm wondering if blue team is trying to secure the Baron control
They have
now.
a pink ward on there now. I would suggest Vayne, Jax, and Lee Sin just do that Baron, and the rest of them just stay in their enemy jungle. You'll have plenty of vision of them coming in.
Into the vision of that ward and gonna back off right away because I think she's seeing that the enemy team is right there.
Katarina's so hungry for these kills. She's like dancing around in the jungle here trying to look for an opportunity for an engage. She wants it bad. Looks like she's building Guardian Angel next. Interesting choice.
Well, considering the amount of CC the enemy team has at their disposal, I don't blame her for going a little more defensive with her build.
I might have suggested...
Personally,
never mind, I'm
Rylai's
crazy.
myself.
I like it.
Oh, there's a flash stun.
That was a little unfortunate. She flashed and then didn't cast her ult for about 2 seconds. That gave them so much time for Katarina to jump in and clean up. They're going to chase that Jax down and get a free kill there. Triple kill onto Katarina. I expect them to turn that into a free Baron. Or they could end the game.
You could just end the game right there.
The reason I was doubtful on that is because Ezreal went back to base.
See, there you go. Corregior was trying to go for the Baron right now, and I was a little behind. Everybody else.
They can still end this, though. They have enough tankiness with Garen to tank the inhibitor turrets. Or, not inhibitor turret, base turrets. They won't have to because they have a couple minions here.
With 10 seconds left on Vayne right now, it's not going to be enough time for them to just like power
No.
Nexus.
No, and that's why I said that they might have wanted to do Baron, because it was a completely safe, guaranteed objective, and Ezreal was going back. Without Ezreal, they don't have anyone who pushes towers that effectively. At this point, they need to get out. Katarina's gonna die if she... Oh, good jump. Honestly, Vayne could have got that kill there if she auto-attacked reset using her Condemn. Blue team has every potential here to chase this in. Because at this point, it's just Leona Garen.
I think blue team could pretty much chase this into kills and get their themselves, or even possibly into the game. Oh yeah, they're gonna go for Baron right now.
Yeah. Again, that's why I said that Baron would be a better objective rather than trying to end the game. Just because you're guaranteed to do it. There's no risk associated. There's no one to stop you. Now, I would expect Vayne and Jax to two-man this, and the rest of their team to apply lane pressure. Obviously, Vi there just might. Alright, free pickup. At this point, Katarina's so caught out. I don't know why she would go in there knowing that they're probably on it with no wards. That seems like a really poor play to me.
Yeah. No, with the minimal ward coverage as well, that was not a good idea.
As much as we've been complimenting teams on their ward coverage, this game's the exact opposite. Neither team has very good ward coverage. Blue team has a couple deep wards here, they're in nice locations, but no one seems to be focusing vision, which is odd to me, especially seeing as Lee Sin has a sight stone. You would expect they'd have enough.
Lee Sin's really been using his sight stone effectively to escape, however. Like, I've seen him do it a lot of times. He's got some really good mechanics for that ward jump.
Oh yes, he's pulled off some very good escapes, but I would expect, given the number of free wards they have, that they should have way more warding than this. Great all by
Here's a really
Leona.
good Leona stun.
Nice flash over the wall from Vayne, actually. I don't normally like aggressive Vayne plays like that, but that was beautiful. Just flash over the wall, dive in, and kill them.
Bam.
Ezreal.
Oh, what a turnaround. I really thought that would end everyone. Garen's being a very good meat shield for his team as well.
He is. As much trouble as he had in lane, we complimented him earlier on his build choice, and he's definitely done his part to keep his team in this game.
Oh yes.
Very, very influential. There's a great job by Purple to fight that. great Leona stun, as we mentioned. On the alternate side, Vayne and Jax were able to get in range to pop the Ezreal. If the Ezreal had survived that initial engage, possibly by playing a little bit more passively, I think that Purple Team could have won the game right there.
Ooh, Leona's face checking that bush. It cost her life.
Both teams are having a lot of problems with their ward coverage. Like, they're just face checking objectives, not maintaining proper wards.
A bit of an unnecessary ward jump right there by Lee Sin. But it looks cool, so whatever.
All ward jumps are necessary as Lee Sin. I don't know where you've been all this time, but come on, get with the program.
Lee Sin's all about style.
Oh yes. That's why you build Hourglass on Lee Sin.
Just with that extra... Like,
It's the extra
off
golden.
action,
It's the gold medal, come on.
Just turn him into a Super Saiyan for that, 1.5 seconds.
Exactly. Apparently in Korea, Zac, for a long time, everyone built Hourglass on him so that they could do cool poses. It was a legitimate strategy, not because it was so gold efficient or an amazing item on him, but just because you would like alt and then Hourglass in the middle of the alt so you had cool poses.
One item that I had a lot of fun witnessing was the Hourglass Jax. When there was that little bug with him that allowed him to take down towers and pretty much instantly.
That is awesome.
Oh, it was amazing. Now, both teams are trying to recuperate.
I really like Brand Hourglasses because his poses, especially with the zombie skin, are so theatrical that you just end up looking like a really cool modern art statue. Alright, at this time I want both teams to be, like, where's their oracles? Get oracles, get a bunch of, nice stack of wards on you, Annie, and get some map vision. Same for the other side here. Get the map vision and close out the game. It, at this point, boils down to one team fight, so it's not possible to ward too much at this point. Blue team's getting some good ward coverage now. Purple team, not so much. Like, they have a few in their jungle, but it's not as much as I would expect with 36 to 37 minutes in the game. Alright, Jax going in on Leona. Just a little bit of harass. Nothing special.
I think what's happening too now at this point too is that, well, especially for the purple team, is that a lot of their players have all of their item slot full right now.
Mm-hmm.
So getting that ward map coverage is a bit of a tough call between, do I sacrifice an item slot just for wards, or can my support handle that vision pressure basically?
Both teams have 2 players with a free item slot that should be warding. For example, Leona should have like stacks and stacks of wards. Udyr should have stacks and stacks of wards.
Oh, and here's the jump. Good flash.
Amazing Leona ult. Great job. Good kick by Lee Sin.
I'm not sure how I feel about Lee Sin trying to engage on Leona like that.
No, it wasn't that you should engage on that person, but it was good from a splitting up their team standpoint, and it's allowing them to turn this fight in very, very heavily in their favor. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the end of the game. All that's left is Ezreal. I don't think this is going to go in their favor.
Yeah.
They're going to get a free inhibitor. I would then want them to shove in, end the game. I do not support Jax going in though. He's going to die.
Well.
If I were... Oh, he wanted the pentakill, that's why. I didn't even see the quadro. I was gonna say, why wouldn't you lifesteal and then go in? And then I realized, wait a second, pentakill timer.
Yeah, no, that Jax has been an absolutely crushing force with 19 kills throughout this game. Very strong Jax player.
Great job to both teams. We're going to do a little bit of a post-game analysis here, just going over some of the mistakes, item builds, just general playstyle that could be improved upon. And then I'm going to hand it over to Brian here, and he's going to do a couple of viewer games with you guys while I like grab a shower and stuff. We'll maybe even be able to convince Guy here to join for a game.
More shoutcasting or actually playing?
No,
now?
like actually playing.
Oh, that'd be fun.
What? I apparently got kicked.
Because you suck. That's why. Just kidding. No,
You're so mean to me. Why do I put up with your abuse?
I know, right?
Yeah, it's just stuck at waiting for stats for me.
It just hasn't filled out that chain order against me yet. Except you don't need one because I live so far away.
Sorry, what?
Nothing. It's just bad jokes.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
Good.
Did it load the post-game stats for you at all?
It did.
Okay, could you go over them for me, please, then?
Yeah, no, Jax and Katarina have been the two most powerful forces on their respective teams throughout the game. So, yeah, no, Jax has been an absolutely crushing force in this game. Like I said, I mean, he was pretty much doing everything he was supposed to do. I mean, the pressure, the split pushing, the roaming. There's very few things I can say about Jax that to give him pointers on how to improve. I mean, he was very lucky in the fact that he got that first blood and he got that double kill at the beginning, which put him extraordinarily far ahead. But he was really good at using the advantage to just become a monster late game.
Yes, and as we mentioned during the stream, and you'll be able to see it in the recordings, we had issue with his I had issue with his starting item because it required him to play so very aggressively, and then he proceeded to push into their enemy tower. That seemed like a very odd choice for me. A lot of that early game double kill for him was set up not only by his own mechanics, but unfortunately, Udyr ganked very, very poorly there. He came through Tribush instead of through River. He then wasted his flash, and then Vi was able to counter gank that, turning it into a double kill. It was good awareness on Vi's part to help set that up, but I have a large amount of issue still with how that Udyr did that first gank, as well as the longsword start. I just don't think that was ideal. It worked out for him in the end, though, so I can't really complain. But as I always say, solo queue is about consistency, and that starting build on a Jax isn't the most consistent.
No, I remember that we also had some issues. I mean, I had this similar issues at the same time that, Garen started Cloth 5, so if given that the gank would not have happened the way it did, Garen would have easily been able to out-sustain Jax and just bully him out completely out of lane. And I mean, even though Garen was very, very behind for that early and mid-game, he came out on top almost for his team. Like for the end game, he became a very good meat shield. He provided for quite a bit of damage too, almost equating Vayne for 22,000 damage to her 24. So Garen actually, I feel that he deserves a bit more praise than we've given him throughout the game, because he was at a severe disadvantage and really came out on top to turn that into an advantage later on.
Agreed, and we did mention a few times throughout the game, so if you are watching the stream back, try and pay attention to those more kind words there, Garen. Great build. Apparently I got a message here from Dark Unit 050. Apparently he helped Garen with his item build. Good work there. I would suggest try and ingrain sort of those builds and strategies into your mind so that you can apply them in solo queue when you might not have someone giving you that assistance. But either way, good job to him to land that. We also highly praised Vayne's mechanics. She did some amazing fights there. I'm trying to think exactly how those exact fights went. I had some issues with some of Annie's engages.
Yes, me too. I think that out of the two supports that Leona came on top for her mechanics, she engaged very well, she peeled very well for Ezreal as well, and yeah, just her team fight setups were quite fantastic, whereas Annie had to waste a few flashes to get those stuns in.
And even a couple of the flash ults that I saw her do, she only landed them on one or two people.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's experience with the champion and experience with the role. But that being said, I just feel that was a little bit of a misplay on her part. Also, Lee Sin, we had a number of complaints with him not trading damage effectively. Lee Sin mid has to bully them out. You can't. He was using all of his skills on minions to try and build up a CS advantage or to try and push the wave. You have to remember that you're not versus someone who uses mana, and you rely on those early kills. Katarina is going to be strong once she gets that farm, and when she hits level 6. As Lee Sin, I would expect you to be able to get at least a kill or two on Katarina early game, before level 8 or 9. That being said, he did some very good ward jumps, as my friend here mentioned. I would have expected him to just be a little bit more aggressive early game and play a little bit better. Katarina, we had a couple issues with, first one being that you ran teleport, didn't really use it that effectively. Your team was reasonably far ahead, though, so a lot of that boils down to just not having opportunities to use it. But if you are going to run teleport, I would expect it to be used a little bit better. Also, you had a couple times where you either didn't engage when you could have cleaned up, or you also, near the end, actually, there was a couple of face checks, whereas, like, you don't have wards, you don't have vision of this area, and you're suspecting they're on Baron. Why are you walking in? Also, you knew that you were being focused mid lane, and you didn't ward as much as you could have. Similar to Lee Sin, Katrina's ward jumps are very, very effective. So carrying 2 to 3 wards on you is very, very powerful on Katarina, both to stop that roam to start with, and also to escape.
Mm-hmm. Also, just to get back to Lee Sin, there were a few strange engages in teamfights that I noticed, namely trying to focus Leona. I understand that she was caught out of position a few times, and I don't have any issue with him prioritizing onto that. However, when the entire team is present and you still go out of your way to jump on that support, it is not as effective as, say, trying to kill the Ezreal or killing the Katarina and really interrupting her ultimate. I feel that a lot of your skills could have been better put to use to focus those characters instead.
Agreed. Do you have any other comments on builds and everything, seeing as I can't see anything?
On builds, yes. I see that I like that Vi went for a classic tanky utility jungler build. I would have finished the Black Cleaver if I was her, because I feel that Black Cleaver just synergizes so well with her W and her passive that, and I mean, it offers you cooldown reduction at the same time. So just getting the Brutalizer and not finishing it, I feel, is a bit of a wasted opportunity.
Agreed. Someone was mentioning in chat that Annie apparently maxed Q. Annie as support and as mid lane should max W.
You're the better Annie player.
Oh, okay. Well, I used to play a lot of Annie. Regardless of what lane you go, unless you're in a horrendously counter-picked lane, W does more damage, it's AoE, and it's just better to max early. Someone mentioned that you play Annie, similar idea to Leona, and that's completely true. Annie's all about all-in engages bot lane if played as support, so W is going to allow you to do that. Maxing Q is a harass build, which isn't what you want. You want to be able to land those 2-person stuns with high burst and then follow it up with some Q's, auto attacks, and your tankiness from your E. Also, they had questions about the Vayne build. What did Vayne build? I can't view it.
Vayne actually built a very standard Blade of the Ruined King into Fed Dancer into Last Whisper, and I believe she was going for an Infinity Edge last, which I feel is a very standard and safe sort of build with her. Mm-hmm. I don't really have any issues with it. I don't have, it is the tried and true build for Vayne, so I mean that was ideal basically. I feel that Vayne could have farmed a lot better. Mm-hmm. She had 161 farm to Ezreal's 253.
I would have almost suggested some split push. Not so much because Vayne is an amazing split pusher, but if you are behind, I understand, yeah, Leona's landing some strong engages, you're having some issues with CSing in lane, but you need to find a way to get that farm back during the mid and late game. Also, personal preference, I actually really like sort of the attack speed on hit Vayne right now. That build is more of a, I'm trying to think what it is, Blade of the Ruined King Trinity Force Static Shiv.
Oh, how interesting.
I really like it. Apparently it's popular in Korea. I don't know which is better. I don't play AD carry that much. So take that with a grain of salt, but you may want to try it in like a normal or a custom game or something like that, just to see if it synergizes with your playstyle. And the reason I'm suggesting that for her is not so much because I feel it's so much better of a build, but because her mechanics were so good. Mm-hmm. If your mechanics are that good, get the attack speed in there. Get the on-hit Trinity Force damage. Get the Static Shiv burst. Again, I'm not saying it would be...
I would not condone that build necessarily if you're like a rank game. If you want to have some fun with Vayne, try it out for sure. I think that'd be like really funny.
Apparently it's what most of the top lane... sorry, not top lane. What most of the top Vaynes are playing right now. I don't know how good it is. I've been trying it out myself every time I'm stuck as AD carry. I don't know if it's better. I just find it a fun build.
I've never, ever seen a Vayne build that, and now I'm really curious as to whether or not I want to
Well, the idea is that you maintain your burst because of the Trinity Force procs and the Static Shiv procs, but you gain so much mobility, move speed, and attack speed.
Which on Vayne is amazing too.
Exactly.
I can see how it could work.
And you still have your sustain because you have your Blade of the Ruined King.
Exactly.
So yeah, it maintains pretty much everything that Vane's about. I like it. I'm just offering as a suggestion to consider. I'm not saying it's the tried and true method.
Is
there any other
anyone-
suggestions here?
I would say that Udyr really needs to work on his ganking paths.
Yes.
I mean, this is something that we've said many times that I just really want to like reconfirm that once again, because there were some situations that should have been some easy ganks and kills for the purple team that ended up in like complete messes, basically, just because of some very basic pathing errors.
Agreed. And also, we had the slight comment that if you're running Phoenix Udyr, I personally would suggest Ghost, because Phoenix Udyr is about staying in the middle of people and dealing a lot of AoE damage. Flash is great, it's fine on Udyr, it's all personal preference, but given that you are playing Phoenix Udyr, I think Ghost might have been a better choice. As Guy, not Steven, as Guy mentioned, you're playing very aggressively, so Ghost is going to back up that play style as well. At this point, we're doing a viewer game.